Hello and welcome to the Impact Zone podcast. We're back again to talk more TNA wrestling shenanigans. And this week we found out one thing from the upcoming Under Siege pay-per-view, which is the Nemeth versus Matt Hardy and his mystery opponent. So it is obviously time to discuss who his mystery partner will be, and, the results hereof within. I don't know whether I'm going to start with saying the results, because I almost think like the result, sometimes it's like, if I say the result, most people are like, oh yeah, well, whatever, I've heard the results. So it's like, well, and I don't think the person matters. But then again, the thing about like having a mystery person is the surprise of like being like, holy crap, it's this person, or whatever else it is. I think like sitting and thinking about like who it could be and whatnot is really fun. So I don't know. I hope people are interested in that. But I guess I will say the results here, in my opinion. I don't feel like the Hardys are going to win, or, well, Matt Hardy and his mystery opponent. It's just like logic, guys. Logic, come on. The Nemeths have just won these belts, and like they look like shit for weeks and for months now. If you're gonna put the belts on these guys, you've got to make them look somewhat legitimate somewhere along this line. I don't know. My question, I guess, becomes will this person be something that is just a one night only, or a one off, or whatever else it is? Or will this be somebody who is maybe added to the roster? Because if it is somebody that you could add to the roster, then you can have a good story there between Matt and the person that he teamed up with. Now, it could be somebody that is already on the roster, and I will entertain that possibility, and I have a handful, well, maybe one or two people that I think it could be, potentially, in this match. But honestly, again, kind of, it's tough, because I don't know whether you could say that it would be somebody from WWE. That would be more interesting to me, because even though I have a bit of a problem sort of with the whole, cross-working relationships, in terms of it's doing too much in some ways to just pander to the WWE crowd, or the casual crowd, or the mainstream crowd in some way. It's like, yeah, but that's really how you get, out there. Even if people kind of brush it off or whatever else, it's like, well, that is there, and there are some people that are going to check it out, just based on the fact that, there is that potential of some people going, oh, well, what if it's not going to be John Cena, but like, what if John Cena or somebody from WWE is his mystery partner? Obviously not, obviously again, but it's probably, like, if it is going to be somebody from WWE, it would probably be somebody from NXT. So you start wondering, well, who it could be. But then again, it's like, well, it's actually only a very short list of potential people, realistically, in some ways. So I don't really have a list like written down or anything like that per se. So like I start to think about like just people that I can name off the top of my head realistically. Now, there's probably two people that are in TNA that I could see it being though I don't think that it makes a whole lot of sense in some ways, because I do, as I said, I do think that even if you're going to get somebody from New Japan or somebody from the Indies, it would be a much bigger surprise and a much cooler moment to see somebody else kind of come into the company, even if it's going to be for one night. I will debate whether, like that could translate into something more, but again, like even just for one night, whatever it is, that is still fine, I think. Like we recently had, was the young gentleman's name there from TMDK? Yeah, I can't remember his name, that challenged Elijah. That was kind of like, like this is out of left field. So the two people that I could perceivably think that it could be in TNA are Elijah as one of the participants or potential participants, because like maybe Elijah is going to do something at this show, but we don't know yet. So, and he's a major star, so it's like, well, you kind of want to do something with the guy. You can't just be like, oh, he's not here. Oh, actually, wait, isn't he on the card already, actually? Oh, yeah, he's actually on the card, so scratch that. Scratch that. The first person then will be Leon Slater. He's not really doing anything on this show. So, he could do something with Matt Hardy. They've had a relationship for a long time kind of thing. Jeff is one of his biggest heroes. He's really into the Hardys. You could have it be one of the Rascals or something like that. I don't know. But I don't know. It's tough to say. It's like if it was somebody on the roster, I feel like you've got to have it be a babyface already. You're not going to bring somebody in who's a heel wrestler and be like, oh, okay. You could have it be Ace Austin, I guess. That could work because he's not really doing much right now, I guess. So maybe he is known for being a tag team guy. So, that is there. You could have a return of somebody like Jake something or someone like that. I don't know. Just a little bit of potential there. I don't really see it. Like, you could think about like somebody like Laredo Kid or Octagon Jr. But I don't know. Still, you could think about Mike Santana. But again, like, it starts becoming to me like, well, does that really like make a whole lot of sense? I don't know. I'm just trying to quickly look now. Quickly. But yeah, there's probably no one else. So, in having gone through at least everyone on the TNA roster that I can think of, or going through them really quickly, or potential people, yeah, it would be Leon, Ace, maybe Jake if he has recovered. And I think he had a very similar injury to Hammerstone, actually, which is, I don't know, kind of weird. Actually, didn't he have a similar injury to Hendry? Not too sure, actually. But I don't know. Or Laredo, or maybe Santana as a far outlier, I would say. Like, you could do it with Macklin, I guess, but I don't know. That doesn't really make much sense either. It's got to be a person that can take a tag team loss, I guess, as well. So it might make the most sense for somebody like Laredo, who's already a jobber, or kind of in that league. You could kind of get, like it would make more sense if Leon was in a match that featured Moose or featured like some of the system or something like that. So I feel like, or he was figured into an X Division sort of position of some sort. So I don't really see that yet for him. Like, it would be a kind of a cool thing, but yeah, I don't see it. So I don't know, for like New Japan, But it's sort of tough, to think of people that are outside of, I don't know, the current roster or the current system. Like, you're going to think about like people that are in the company first. Then you're going to think about like, well, who could we realistically get? Maybe we could, figure out, where we're at with some of this other stuff or whatever. But whoops, let me just get rid of that. Get out of here. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying something. But yeah, let's look at now NXT. I don't really think you could think about it being over Femi, though he has tagged with the Hardys. Ricky Saints. That is actually kind of interesting. I wouldn't say no to that, but I don't really think it makes a whole lot of sense. So yeah, I don't know. And the problem with me looking through some of these wrestlers is I don't know who's heel or babyface really in this. So I might say somebody who's a heel, but I honestly, again, I don't really know a whole lot of the wrestlers and the performers that are over there. So I don't know much about Javon Evans, though I have heard of him. So Lexus King, who is basically Brian Pillman Jr., I don't know, that could be interesting, but then again, I think he is working heel. I'm not too sure. Let's see. Sean Spears. That's interesting, but I don't know if he's working face or heel. Be funny if it was Wesley, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So there's not, like, I look through this roster and there's a bunch of like lower card people really that don't have a whole lot behind them, and I don't feel like you could think about them being there. So I don't really see it. So I don't really see it, and I don't really think you're going to get somebody from the main roster. So let's see if I can find someone else. Let's see if we can find the potential best free agents that are out there. We had Aiden Prince. I don't really think he would be worthwhile to bring back in. Andrew Everett, that's kind of funny, but no. Bupinder Guja, that's interesting, but I don't know. Caleb Connolly, there we go. 10 out of 10, it's suicide. Trevor Lee, I don't know. It'd be interesting for Chris Masters, actually. Because he's been in TNA like a couple of times. So, Elijah Burke, bring back the Pope, bro. Bring back the Pope. Let's do it. Let's bring back Hammerstone, bro. But then again, he's mostly was being a heel, so. Jake Christ, maybe James Storm. Let's bring back James Storm, bro. Come on. That's a legendary tag team wrestler, and that would make some sense. Jimmy Jacobs. He's not much of a wrestler anymore, is he? Don't really know. Let's see. Hoovy the Juice. I didn't even know he was still wrestling. Kalisto, Samurai Del Sol. He was in TNA for like a hot minute. Fuego del Sol. Lindsay Dorado. He was in TNA for a hot cup of coffee. Not Matt Riddle. No way, Jose. I don't know whether that makes much sense. Rick Boogs. Let's see. So I'm only really going through the names that I think are big enough or good enough to make some sort of impact, or somebody would feel like, oh, that's cool. Shannon Moore. Tajiri. I didn't even know Tajiri is still wrestling, bro. Tyler Breeze. Do it. Bring him in. Victor. They actually brought in, what was his name? Oh, God. What was his name? The other part of the Ascension. God damn it. Oh, my God. Well, because I was even talking about him not that long ago about his feud with PCO and how he should have probably actually gotten over at some point. Khan, that's right. My brain, finally. Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. Zicky dies. That's funny, dude. Baron Corbin, bro. Baron Corbin, maybe. I don't know. That's about it, though. There's not that many like free agents that I could see. That are out there that. Other free agents that I could see like making a decent impact. Actually, it's in Canada, which is kind of interesting. So give me a Canadian wrestler. Maybe potentially. Who's a really great like Canadian based tag team potential wrestler? Rhino, bring Rhino back in. Isn't he working for AEW now, or is he working for WWE now? I don't know. Actually, Veer's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty short list, honestly. Actually, Shane Helms actually tweeted something about this, and I was like, wait a minute, is he like hinting that it's gonna be him? And I was like, this is crazy. So that is actually an interesting one that just popped into my brain because I remember him saying something about it, and then me seeing it and being like, wait, is this just a tease? I don't know. It could be something to throw people off the scent, though. So I don't know. But again, it kind of would suck to be like bring in somebody and it's only for a one night, like, James Storm. It's like, that is kind of cool or whatever else it is, but it's like, come on, bring him back properly. Like, let's not just bring him back for shits and giggles on one night. Let's bring him back permanently. He deserves to be, doing stuff there and whatnot. So I don't know. But yeah, there's not that many wrestlers. There's not that many wrestlers that I think make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, maybe there is somebody else out there that I can't, maybe again. But those are the people. So if you were to say who's the odds-on, favorite or whatever else it is, it's probably honestly something maybe boring. But, that might be, their last kind of, ditch kind of thing. Let's do this other thing. Let's take care of this. Give this person a nudge out there, because we couldn't find anyone else. I'm sure they're looking and they're doing stuff. And they're not just oh, well, never mind. Let's, figure out, whatever, then on the night, they're obviously hunting for somebody. They're not just oh, yeah, whatever, we'll figure it out when we get there, because they've already taped. I think they've taped all the TVs up to Under Siege, so or at least I think so. But anyway, yeah. So maybe somebody has maybe potentially spoiled it in that case, but I don't know about it. So if somebody does come around and say, oh, it was this person all along, obviously, yeah, maybe that's the backup plan, dude. So you might not unless it's advertised to be the person. If it's in an internal memo or something like that that says, hey, it's going to be Leon Sater, or hey, it's going to be this person, or hey, it's going to be whoever it is. This is, that's just their backup plan or whatever else it is. It's just we couldn't find anyone, or we couldn't come to a deal with somebody, or whatever else it was. So actually it'd be really kind of cool if it was Sami Zayn in some ways, but I doubt it again. So it'd be nice if it made some amount of sense. It's somebody from Canada, it'd be crazy. If it was somebody from it'd be even crazier if it was someone from AEW or something But I really doubt that. It'd be interesting if it was somebody from AAA or New Japan that is from over there or whatever else it is. So I think that is where the intrigue lies in some of this. Is well, who could it be from NXT? I don't know enough people from there to pick anyone that I feel oh yeah, that makes sense, or whatever else it is. There's a few old school TNA people that you could think or high level people that are kind of on the independent scene, that it could potentially be or whatever. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's someone from NXT. I think if it's as far as I know, at least, I don't know any of them. So, or at least not enough of them that I would go, oh yeah, it could be this person or that person. Clearly not that person. This person is a heel, or as far as I know, they're a heel. So it's well, and the other people that are there are just very meh mid card people. It could be somebody a bit meh that's kind of on the main roster or whatever else it is. But again, they haven't really done a whole lot of that stuff. And it's well, at some point, will they do it? Don't know. Potentially. There was a lot of rumor about The Miz coming in and doing something. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Honestly, I really doubt that. But, I somewhat, I won't say no, because he knows his role and he does it well. So, but then again, it's you've got all these other people, and it's well, you're going to keep padding these other things out. Oh, obviously you are, but like, you're going to keep padding these other things out. Like, at a certain point, come on. Like, we've got to have something for these people to do. We can't just keep padding them out and saying, oh, well, too bad, so sad. We can't give you the match that you want, because we don't want to do it. That's no good. Got to give people other things to do. But yeah, anyway. I don't know. Maybe I was thinking, maybe you should bring in somebody that is a babyface or somewhat perceived to be a babyface, and then have them turn heel on Matt. What do you or something like that? I don't know. It's interesting. So, I don't know, dudes. It's tough to figure it out because it's always like, until we get closer, I don't think there's any solid, because there's always going to be those things that are out there, like somebody's teasing, oh, could it be me? Could it be you? Could it be Steve? Could it be this person? Could it be that person? Honestly, probably not. So just being like, for real, come on, man, but then again, the teasers are good because it's like somebody again might see that or might hear about that and go, ooh, there's a stand back, there's a hurricane coming through, I don't think that would be it, because it's like, I don't think they'd have I don't know. It'd be interesting because it's like, would WWE give the rights to TNA to use the Hurricane for one night? I don't know. It's not like it's the most lucrative character in the world. So I don't know. You could have anything, for one night. What's the point? To make people go, holy shit, and there's only a few people that would really do that. Like I said, this is what happened when they brought in some of these people from NXT, and it's like, 2 people and a dog know who this person is. It's like, no offense to them, but no one knows who you are. And it's really tough as well because no one knows your music. So it's like, whose music is this? Who's this person? Okay. Right. Sure. Never heard of this person. Obviously they're in WWE, so it's like they're being groomed for big things, but it's like, you haven't become somebody. You're not like Kenny Omega or somebody like that. It's like, you've heard about them, or Okada or something, you've heard about these guys, these gals, whoever else it is, Julia and some of these other people, that's like, oh man, yeah, I've heard of them. Maybe I haven't seen them very much, but I've heard of them, but again, you going there and you're going, oh, maybe I haven't heard much about this person, but in the first, seeing them or impression of them, you might go, oh, this person's got a fair amount of charisma and aura about them, or, they've got a certain thing about them or a certain swagger about them or something else. They feel like, hey, wait a minute, this person is somebody that should be, taken a bit more seriously. And it's just like, nobody's heard of this person because they haven't really done anything with this person yet. They're just sort of getting the ball rolling with them, and they're obviously sending them here to be like, hey, go do this. We want to see, if you've got the chops to make it. So, but yeah, I do feel like a lot of those reveals or whatever were kind of like, especially to me, maybe it was a bit different for other people that actually knew who some of these people were, but it's like, or knew their music or whatever else it is. But again, I'm fairly in the weeds, honestly. I'm not as deep in the weeds as some people are, but I'm fairly deep in the weeds, dude. Like, I'm not a casual person, really. So for me, if somebody comes out and I don't know who they are, it's like, oh, okay, maybe like they can get me by having enough charisma and aura or whatever else it is when they come out and have a certain presence. But if I don't know who somebody is, it's still going to be like, well, who the heck is this? Like, I've never heard of this person before, never seen this person before, you know. So, and again, like 9 times out of 10, if you've got X person versus a mystery opponent, it's like, well, the mystery opponent's not winning. So, again, you've got to bring somebody in that's big enough to be like, oh my God, it's this person. And yet that person can't be hurt by, them losing, which is like something that only some legends can do. So again, that would make both moments kind of work, where it's like they lost, but it didn't really matter. That was for the moment more than anything, and it would make sense again if it was a tag team person, whatever. So that way you get to see almost a fusion of two different tag teams or whatever else it is forming, So, but yeah. Guys, I think that is it pretty much for this one. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and I hope you guys will join me again in another one, which we'll probably be doing next week when they give us another update on the Under Siege card.